On the first floor of the BFI South Bank building in central London, a meeting room and exhibition space has been transformed into a celebration of all things Laika. The Oregon-based stop-motion studio has flown more than 700 puppets, sets and pieces of concept art to give audiences a taste of how their odd little worlds are brought to life.
We know that the audience at the BFI is huge film buffs, so we really wanted to dive into that and give us the opportunity to kind of dig deeper into our archives, showing some more processes from further within the studio than we have done before.
We've been trying to bring in more animation seasons into the programme over the last 3 or 4 years, and it just happened that our plans for the stop motion season tied in with some conversations we were already having with Laika.
We settled on frame by frame, just as literally a single frame to represent each area, and we wanted to showcase what goes into making that single frame. Obviously there's 24 of those a second, so it scales up hugely, but it takes a huge amount of people, hundreds and hundreds of people, just to come together to produce one frame, and we really wanted to shine a light on that.
Yeah, so the exhibition is purely about Laika. Obviously the season is about all stop motion, but in the exhibition they can see each film is given its own little stage, if you like. So you walk into this incredible, fantastic garden, which is obviously the Coraline garden, the multicoloured Coraline garden that we all know so well. And then you've got interactive like drawers you can open, things you can pull out from the side.
I've been at Laika since 2007, and I can honestly say, and I'd worked on multiple stop motion features before that. Every single day we are met with a new problem that we may never have faced before. As technologies, as materials, as all techniques evolve from film to film or from year to year, it brings a new inherent list of things we've got to learn as well.
One huge change to the world of stop-motion animation this century is the development of visual effects. The art form's come a long way since the days of thumbprints and sheds.
Visual effects is a tool that is a very important tool that really allows us to kind of expand our horizons. Even on Coraline, it was used there. Coraline's face is a 3D rapid prototype of replaceable faces. There was a seam across the face, so visual effects would go into Coraline and paint out the seam on every single frame. And then when the stories became bigger and bigger, and it became apparent that we don't have the physical space to build these massive, expansive vistas for terrain and for geography. So we look at different ways, and visual effects becomes a real handy tool.
It's showing so much stuff that's never been shown before, and at the same time we get to programme 50 plus films, lots of guests on stage, so it's a really kind of collaborative thing with Laika, but actually it's really collaborative with the whole stop motion industry.
Though the company is approaching its 20th year, Laika is still one of the newest stop motion studios on the block.
We've been a studio, Coraline's just been 15 years released, but I feel like it still feels like early days in many respects as we grow as a studio and what we're capable of. There's a real feeling there that you can keep pushing the boundaries, and nobody ever solves a problem and says, okay, that's enough. You always want to see, but we could do this, or if a new piece of technology comes out or a new material comes out, those can also be evolved as well.
With more than 700 pieces on display, it's not surprising that everyone has their own favourite.
I love the little frog that peeked out of the picture plant on Coraline. I've always loved it. It's vibrant, it's just fun, and I've always wanted to get that displayed.
Just a real wow factor of walking through the garden at the start. There's so much to love when you go and you see all the different individual bits, but that actual moment when you walk in and it's all those bright colours and what you've seen on the screen has suddenly been kind of manifested and created, it's very exciting.